Welcome, everyone. Today we are going to do a reading. It's going to be a love reading. It's about what love is coming towards you. This is going to be for Libra, um, through Pisces. I already did yesterday. I put out one for Aries up to Virgo, but then my game was on, so I had to stop. So today I want to pick up the rest. So Libra, and they'll all be time stamped, by the way. So Libra. Um, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. You'll all be in this reading. All right, so let's just go ahead and get right into it because these are longer readings. And I try to give each sign, like, a good reading. But we're going to start with Mother Mary. And this is going to be for the collective. Everything is pre-shuffled, by the way. I am using the same decks that I used yesterday, but I did shuffle them all up really good. Um, but I am going to look for the synchronicities for sure. It's interesting because when I do these type of readings, I can see how other signs are relating to other signs, and hopefully you can too. That's really why I do it. But let's go ahead and begin. Let's start with Mother Mary. Again, this is for everyone. This is for the collective. Mother Mary. Our words of wisdom. What do we need to hear? Okay, well, there's a few. I am going to take them. I don't like to refuse any cards that come out from Mother Mary, but let's start with what's face up. Enthusiasm. Enthusiasm. Whatever I am most passionate about is the direction I flow. Some of you, that's your answer right there. Like, which direction do I go? Whatever you feel the most passion towards. We have devotion. As I fully commit to my values, relationships, and God, I am clear about what to do next. We have feminine. Remember, we're both masculine and feminine, and sometimes, I feel like I live a lot more in my masculine energy than I do my feminine energy. But there's times to bring both out. All right, feminine. I allow my feminine nature to shine brightly as a valuable part of my identity. I have a feeling we're going to get the Empress somewhere. And then we have Father. Father. My true Father is God in heaven, who shines healing light upon me, my birth father, and our relationship. So I feel like if this is anyone who's dealing with father issues, first of all, it's to bring it up so that you understand that. I feel like many times, like good old dad, good old mom, like there's things that they may have done that, we don't want to repeat, and then we do. I know that has happened to me. Um, and I also feel like this is talking about for some of you a father who is in spirit, who is one of your spirit guides. And I feel like they themselves has had some type of healing. It's like when you cross over the afflictions of the human experiences go away. Um, and I feel like you're surrounded by divine light, which helps. I do feel like there is a life review. Like we have to, and I just get this through my guides. Like, it's like when you cross over, I feel like you're met by someone who would be very special to you, to help you cross over. But then I do feel like it's almost like then we go to the film room where we watch a story of our lives and we see how our actions affected others and vice versa. Now, I have to tell you, I feel like because I know that, and maybe not everybody agrees with me, and that's okay, but I feel like because I know that, it gives us an opportunity to right the wrongs before we even cross over. It's like, why not right it before we have to cross over and then deal with it in that way? So, I don't know. Enthusiasm, devotion, feminine, and father. And let's just put them all right there. Let's bring the lid down. Not too much. I want these spread out so I can see them. And we'll read them from the book at the end of the reading. Maybe not all of them. We'll see by the readings like which ones feel like really need to be heard. But let's go ahead and begin. We're going to start with Libra. So Libra, I am going to use, I'm kind of just going in order here. I'm going to use the Universal Tarot. And again, this is about what love is coming towards you, or what love are you coming towards. You know, remember, love is you're meeting each other on your paths, but we're titling it what love is coming towards you. Let's give them a cut. By the way, like I said, I always pre-shuffle my decks, but I do like to shuffle with you here also. For those who are new, I just want to let you know that. All right. Let me just calm my mind. I have a lot of Libra love in my life. Okay, let's begin. We are going to shuffle. And we're going to let the cards come out what I consider organically. All right, well, we have the 10 of Cups. Not a bad place to start. We have the King of Swords. He's a little in reverse. It wasn't completely in reverse, so we'll leave him in the upright, just keeping that in mind. We have Justice, your major arcana. How's that? Next to the King of Swords, that could certainly be you. It's interesting because this could certainly talk about some of you may have gone through some type of divorce or a separation, cutting of ties. I feel like the ties would be cut. And, you know, what stands in between Justice and the Ten of Cups is the King of Swords. So, You know, it's interesting because now I'm wondering maybe this King of Swords is meant to be in reverse. Maybe it's not you. Maybe it's someone else. Now, I kind of want you to forget about, I'm going to give you like the signs, right? King of Swords would be either you, Libra, an Aquarius, or a Gemini. But then I want you to kind of forget about that because really what I want you to think about is their energy. So the King of Swords in the upright is normally someone who has integrity. This is someone who normally has mastered the art of communication. Doesn't mean they're perfect because none of us are perfect. Um, but now I kind of feel like maybe it was meant to be in reverse because he may be being eclipsed out. And let me tell you something. I feel like, you know, this could be someone who maybe their communication was not good. Maybe they didn't have integrity. You know, for some of you, this could actually been a father figure type of energy. And it could talk about when you were young and a divorce and how it affected you. But justice is about what's fair and just. It's about balance. And sometimes things do need to be cut out of our life so that we can find that true balance. All right, let's keep going. We have the Five of Pentacles, but it's in reverse. Interesting. It's like avoiding a tower. Rise speaks about change. So I feel like this change has already happened. We have the King of Pentacles, can be a Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, coming under the Ten of Cups. I almost feel like this King of Swords is being replaced by the King of Pentacles. I think I said King of Cups, King of Pentacles. Potentially Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. But let's talk about this guy in the upright. This is normally someone who'd be loyal. This is someone who their foundation is very important to them. Like if they don't have a strong foundation, they don't feel their life has a strong foundation. He's connected directly to this Ten of Cups. And he did come in the upright. So it's almost like a switching out of partners, cutting of ties with one. And I don't feel like this is happening. I feel like it's you. Listen, I feel like you may have been putting up with some bullshit for a while. But I feel like ultimately it's you who is kind of like throwing that tower. It's not you being thrown out into the cold, it's someone else. It's almost like enough is enough is enough. But then this other king shows up. Let's see what comes between these two kings. Right now, they're both sharing the Ten of Cups. But then again, one in reverse, one in the upright. We have the Six of Swords. So I feel like you're leaving this Six of Cups. Why do I keep saying that? I feel like this King of Swords is kind of being eclipsed out. You know, the Six of Swords speaks about, first and foremost, that someone has had the realization that someone, because this is a love reading, that someone has been toxic to them, someone hasn't been truthful, hasn't been standing within their integrity. You know what I mean? The communication sucked. That kind of energy. And you probably were with them for quite some time, but I feel like it's interesting because I feel like as your spirituality grew, you started to realize that, maybe you felt stuck within a situation, but I don't feel like, and justice doesn't have to mean a divorce. It is your card. But it does to me mean cutting of ties. But cutting those ties frees you. It's like, the cups were unbalanced, the scale was unbalanced. You make that simple cutting of ties, and then the cups are balanced again. So I feel like I had a pretty good idea that someone, their energy, let's just say, became toxic to my energy. And when I say that, I mean it in a way where, first of all, they could have just had really bad communication, and that's not good for you. You know what I mean? Like, that's not something you can put up with. Like, if somebody doesn't come with truth and integrity, I feel like it doesn't mean you can't get caught in their web, but I feel like sooner or later you're going to leave that web. You're going to find your way out. And that's what it feels like with this Five of Pentacles here. I feel like this Five of Pentacles is being thrown to this King of Swords. Again, don't worry about the sign. It's more in the energy of what I feel like this king, you know, we know at some time he was toxic. We know that ultimately you cut ties with this person, or you are thinking of cutting ties with this person. We have the devil, card of Capricorn. Could certainly represent a Capricorn for some because right now it's mirroring the King of Pentacles. We have the Two of Swords. We have, well, hello, Ten of Pentacles. Look at this king. of Pentacles. He's surrounded not only by the Ten of Cups, now by the Ten of Pentacles, his natural habitat, so to speak. Ace of Wands. Inspiration begins. Passion ignited. Queen of Swords. Interesting. And last but not least is the Moon. Card of Pisces, ruler of Cancer, but let's see what's also on the bottom of the deck. The Star. Your hopes, your dreams, your wishes. This is about manifesting them. You know what I feel like, Libra? I feel like I got caught in someone's web. And I needed to free myself from that energy, let's just say. I feel like you do. Ultimately, you do. I do feel like this person could be like very charming. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I get this energy of someone who doesn't tell the truth, but yet their charm is what like attracted me to them. I don't feel that's the case anymore because I feel like that charm only lasts for so long. Like once I'm on to you, I'm on to you. Um, Now this two swords is being mirrored by this king. And I have a feeling that maybe you didn't expect this king to like pop up in your life. Because in a way, and it's funny because the person in the boat of the Six of Swords is heading right to this king. And this king is surrounded by the most beautiful energy, the Ten of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups, and also connected to the Ace of Wands. So I feel like this is about action. You know, it's interesting because this could be something that happens sooner than later. And what I mean by that is like maybe I broke it off with someone and I don't feel you're like I don't even want to be in a relationship. But then lo and behold, like along your travels, here comes this king. And I do feel like with the two swords, what that just means, you know, we can read it as many different things. It is someone who's wearing a blindfold. There's something I don't want to face. And I feel like part of it has to do with the moon, because the moon can certainly cast shadows, right? It's uncertainty. You can only see as far as the moonlight will let you see, but sometimes that's all you're meant to see, right? Because it is our seeds, it's our nurturing, right? Like here is the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles, but I got to do my work to get there. You know, it looks magical when you see it on the table, but we got to understand that, you know, first of all, I had to realize that there was some type of toxic energy. And I feel like I can again say, like, someone who lied to me, bad communication, and ultimately, I feel like you are giving them the tower. Some of you, you may be asking for a divorce, or you already have. Again, I feel like they're very charming. You need to, well, I feel like you already know that. So maybe someone tries to charm you back, but I feel like you're in a period of your life where I feel like now you can resist. Like, that charm is, it's funny for some of you, it could be someone who was a lot like your father. You know, it's interesting because I have mixed feelings about my dad because my dad was such a great dad. And then my parents they separated when I was 13. And my mother all of a sudden had four teenagers. And this was in the 70s. And we were not good kids. I mean, it was the 70s, you know, and I don't mean like we ended up in jail and stuff like that, but everything changed. Let's just put it that way. There were rules, you know, like on Saturdays we had to do our chores, and then when my dad left, um, it just all changed. Why am I saying that? Oh, well, you know, I saw those parts of my dad that were not so great to my mother, but I also saw both sides of it. You know what I mean? But I was always the daddy's girl until I wasn't. Now, I guess I'm saying that because someone must relate to that. Anytime I bring up my own personal experiences, I feel like it's because, you know, my guides want me to. All right. So, anyways, the moon's very dreamy energy, and you do have the star here. So, again, card of Aquarius, by the way. But I do feel like this is talking about your dreams, like the way you see your life and bringing it back to that. Look at that Three of Wands underneath that. That is an optimistic view. Enthusiasm. I'm going to get enthusiastic about my life again. Right? I'm figuring out as I cut out these ties that are toxic to me, stop my growth. It can even be like, conversations where someone says, you're not, you'll never find anyone else. Well, that's not true because I feel like right here is this king and he's again surrounded by the most beautiful energy. I do feel like, it feels unexpected because I feel like for a second, and I do feel like it's just for a second, it raises up a little bit of fear because almost like I'm almost not expecting it. I don't feel like you're expecting it, but I feel like when it comes in, like when the two of you meet, I feel like passion erupts. Like there's passion involved here. So, it's not only telling us where the potential of this can go, it's almost giving us a guideline, right? Like, first I need to see, first I really needed to look at what was toxic to me. Then I needed to throw them or the situation a tower. And then I needed to move away from it. And that's exactly what you did. It's funny how we have the Queen of Swords in the upright, or in reverse, the King of Swords in reverse, the Queen of Swords in the upright, and she's being mirrored by your major arcana. All right. So I'm just going to take off the top for these. They're pre-shuffled. Okay, look at that with the wheel. Destiny. Two of Wands. Seven of Swords. Ten of Swords. It's like, okay, I've had enough. You definitely have had enough. Ten of Swords, to me, I feel like the one thing, sorry, I'm trying to get comfortable. The one thing I've really got to look at when I see the Ten of Swords is, do I have a tendency to have repeat patterns? You know, um, and if that's the case, once you realize that, once you're truthful with yourself, I feel like, first of all, it helps you end that pattern. You know what I mean? The Ten of Swords is dagger after dagger after dagger in the back. And I feel like of course, someone did that. I feel like it's this king in reverse. So I do feel like, listen, this can even talk about like a little bit of a nasty divorce or a nasty breakup. But nonetheless, Seven of Swords talks about standing your ground. And I feel like if I'm having a conversation with the reversal of this king, I'm just saying, like, I'm tired of these daggers in my back. I'm sick and tired of it. And, even if, like, this person says, oh, I promise I'm going to change, listen, I feel like you've given them plenty of time to make the changes, right? And another thing is, like, why do you need to, like, like, I feel like I'm saying to this person, like, you know, why, like, what am I even doing with you where, like, oh yeah, baby, I'm gonna make these changes. Like, why, like, you should have already made those changes. You know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't come down to me threatening to leave you before you decide to make, or you tell me that you're gonna make these changes. I feel like you're beyond that. It's like, no, no, I'm not even gonna listen to you anymore. So I definitely feel like this person's being eclipsed out. I'm not going to say it's easy energy. You know what I mean? It's like, Oh, and then I move and boom, another king shows up and is surrounded by such beautiful energy. First, I have to get through this. And I don't feel like I could ever get through this if I don't have the realization of the pattern that's being repeated. And I'm part of that pattern. Sometimes we're just attracted to the wrong people. Sometimes our energy is low, and I'll be damned if we don't seem to attract from that energy. So, if that's the case, then we need to think about all right, if I keep attracting all these daggers because my energy is low, well, what about if I lift my vibration? What about if I start thinking about all that could be, right? I change my perspective. I no longer live in this person's perspective. Interesting. Okay. But we have the wheel. So I want to say, I feel like when we have the wheel and the Ten of Swords mirroring each other, we have to realize that our life is not just meant to be all, glory and laughter and fun. Yes, it is meant to be that because remember, again, it's that balance. Um, but sometimes our soul came here to learn some very hard lessons. This could be a karmic relationship. And I feel like, if that's the case and you're cutting the ties to that, well, my dear, like, especially if you've learned, like, okay, I can see that I'm creating these patterns, that's the end of it. That's sometimes, I don't want to say it's the hardest thing to do is see the patterns. Because really the hardest thing to do then once I see the truth, I can no longer deny the truth. So sometimes the hardest part of it is making the change out of that. But I promise you, because the Six of Swords tells you, it may consist of choppy waters, but keep moving forward and it's going to move you to much calmer type waters. Okay. Seven of Cups. Well, that makes sense, right? Trying to make a choice. Do I accept one of these cups? I feel like this king must be offering a cup. Again, the Two of Swords mirroring it right now, a little bit of fear factor. Why? Because I just do not want to repeat any patterns. Though I have to tell you, I feel like this person is very, very different. I feel like this is a person who, well, let's talk about the King of Pentacles in the upright again. Forget the sign because I know many of you will say, well, I've been with the Virgo or I've been with the Taurus or Capricorn and they suck. And some of them do. But not everyone, right? It really depends on our own life experiences. That's another reason why I think it's a great idea to know your life path number and your personal year number. Um, and even go deeper if you want. It's funny, my daughter did a birth chart and she's like, oh my God, I didn't realize how much Virgo I have in my chart. She's a Scorpio with an Aquarius moon. Anyways, let's keep going. We have the Page of Wands. Well, Page of Wands to me is someone who takes chances. I'm going to think about it later, but I'm going to go ahead and take a chance. And it's got the Two of Wands right above it. We have the Nine of Swords coming over the Devil. And then we have, look at that, two nines back to back. The Nine of Pentacles over the Two of Swords. I feel like what this is saying here, sometimes, we get in that rut where, let's say I'm a mother who stays home and I'm taking care of my children. And that's what was decided, right? So I didn't have the opportunity to work on my career, my finances, right? It was like more, more yours and not mine type of energy. So I feel like part of the problem, part of where the worry would be is, first of all, Nine of Swords is unnecessary worry, but there's worry there nonetheless. Part of that worry, I feel like, is can you stand on your own 2 feet? The Nine of Pentacles is a very independent type energy. Now, that doesn't mean I don't want anybody in my life, but it means that I can take care of me. So some of you are worried, like, will I be able to get there? And I feel like, the Nine of Pentacles talks about successful self-employment. But listen, we all have to start somewhere. And and I feel like because the star is on the bottom of the deck, this is about your dreams, right? I hope becoming a reality. That Nine of Pentacles can mean everything in this type of reading because, again, when my own foundation feels strong, uh, I just feel like the rest will follow. And then mirrored by the king over here. And he is holding a big old pentacle in his hand. Almost like I'm going to reach over to that Nine of Pentacles and offer you that Pentacles, which would then turn into the Ten of Pentacles, which follows, by the way. Some of you, you're wondering, like, what can I do? Maybe your income, like, suffers, so to speak. But I feel like if that's the case, because let's not forget, we have the wheel here. This is destiny, right? It's almost like you're destined to end up in the Ten of Cups. But sometimes maybe I picked the wrong person. Um, or, I don't want to say you picked the wrong person, but sometimes I get caught in someone's web. Um, but destiny is saying, you're meant to have this Ten of Cups. Doesn't mean that we're just going to hand it to you. This is something I'm working towards. So I feel like you're going to reach it. I'm not even worried about that. Let's keep going. Queen of Swords again, right now over. First of all, she's connected now to this king, and she's connected to the Ten of Pentacles. I feel like for some of you, if you're worried about like finances, there may be some talents that you have, something that you can do literally where you can work, within the home. Doesn't have to be that. Some of you, this can talk about like you're finally starting your own business. And maybe it's been after, like, I've been living somebody else's life and now I'm going to start living my life. I feel like this king would support that, would lift you up, would tell you, good job. Where this king, I feel like, would do the opposite, right? You got no talent. You won't be successful. You're lucky you have me. Really? We have the Eight of Wands, fast moving energy. Right over the Ace of Wands. Interesting. First of all, when I see the Eight of Wands, the first thing that comes to my mind is what I think about, I bring about. Same within the Ten of Swords, right? Like all these daggers. And if I expect that these daggers are going to stop, they're not. They're not going to stop. So that means I have to be the one to break that pattern. And it feels like as soon as you do that, as soon as you start to have these realizations, which I feel like many of you probably already have had them, the Eight of Wands, what I think about, I bring about. Well, the star is here. What if you're now bringing about a real dream? Eight is also about a new beginning. Queen of Pentacles coming over the Queen of Swords. Interesting. It's like, here's the Queen of Swords, the King of Swords. This king is in reverse, but this queen is in the upright. Here's the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles, both in the upright. Now, when I'm doing, I was going to say a personal reading, but in a way, they all feel personal to me. When I'm doing a reading, I feel like you're all people, unless I feel it otherwise, because I feel like this is two sides of you. The Queen of Pentacles, listen, this may tell you, first of all, I don't feel like much can get by the Queen of Pentacles. I don't know why I can't get comfortable. Then look at that, the Knight of Cups. Unexpected cup of fulfillment. right over the moon. When, Sandy? Can't tell you exactly when, because it's unexpected. But I can tell you it's coming in. Or, again, meeting each other along your path. And I also feel, listen, I may not be 100% when this opens up. But again, I feel like over here, this person just seems to be so much more supportive, like helping to build me up, helping me to believe in myself again, and supporting the things that, I want to create in this world. Sometimes I feel like when I'm busy, I got my head down doing my thing, that's when unexpected love may just pop in. I feel like if that is a hope, here it is. All right. Trying to think if there's anything. So I feel like I'm switching kings here. You know, that's just what I feel like. I'm switching kings. And because this is a love reading, but it is showing us the difficulty of where you've been and the clearing of patterns, trusting in yourself again, and I feel like when you eclipse out the toxic energy, it's like your mind is able to receive epiphanies, signs, much clearer. I do feel like you're going to be able to take care of yourself if that is one of your worries. You do have to put the work in. I'm not going to lie and just be like, oh, it's going to fall in your lap. No, you do have to put the work in. And by the way, I feel like for some of you that may be going through a divorce, you may be worried that you're going to lose the majority of the money or the finances. I don't feel like that's going to happen. And I feel like if I'm in a law of court, and I'm an attorney, I just point out this person's, this person's actions. Like, look what they've done. And then I feel like, like we made an agreement that I would raise the children if I'm a woman. Doesn't have to be a woman, can be either way. Um, so, I didn't have the luxury of like building my career. And I know that's not for everyone, but it's for a few. Like I didn't have the luxury of building success for myself. It's not too late. Just know that it's not too late. It may feel too late, but it's not too late. And by the way, I feel like, again, your guides are going to help guide you to, like, if in this Nine of Pentacles, like, I don't have a clue what that might be. I feel like when the mind is clear, something's going to, like, there's going to be sparks. Follow those sparks because I feel like it could lead you down, like, a path that, where there could be real abundance. All right, I'm going to take one more. Look at that, the Eight of Cups. Clearing of the emotional house. And walking away from it. This is where I'm not letting my past emotional experiences affect my present moment or my future. I have enough clarity now. So it's interesting. It's like the universe is following you, of course. Your guides are following your life. And the Knight of Cups, yes, is way down here. But in the same breath, like if you're way up here still, understand that, love coming in during, let's say, the midst of a divorce wouldn't serve you as well as once you're free and clear, let's say. It doesn't have to mean like I'm completely divorced or, everything's completely settled. But nonetheless, I feel like as you start moving away from that energy, I just feel like naturally naturally this love is going to come in, or, and I feel like it's coming in because the Knight of Cups is about unexpected couple fulfillment that is coming in. And then the star there. It's like you're switching houses, you're switching kings, but it all feels right. It just feels right. I don't feel like this is later versus sooner. I guess it depends where you're at. You know what I mean? Where you're at in this energy. But I feel like, if I'm in the Six of Swords, so first of all, that means I've realized who's toxic, what's toxic to me, what stops my growth, what stops my dreams from becoming my reality. Once I realize that, right, and I'm willing to travel through that choppy water, I feel like the rest will then just happen. The rest will just happen. And I feel like it happens soon. It happens soon. And I love the Page of Wands being above the eight because I feel like this is, to me, the Page of Wands is someone who takes leaps of faith. Like, I'm going to take a chance. But listen, take it slow. There's no need to take anything fast, though. Every time I say that, then I realize, well, we do have the Eight of Wands over the Ace of Wands, right? Inspired, passion, desirable, but then it is asking for your action, right? Accepting that ace. So I feel like, you know, our guides wouldn't be like, okay, we want you to accept this ace of this horrible person. No. Some of you may even find like a helping hand, but I don't know. I feel like you're just changing houses. And I kind of love that this king over here is carrying the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles and the wheel that moves into the Ace of Wands. But ultimately, it has to be your decision. That's what the Seven of Cups is about. It asks you to use your spiritual discernment. What would be the confusion in the Seven of Cups? Well, I don't want to repeat. Well, in the Six of Swords, if I understand and I'm really learning energy, the chances of you repeating it are low. Now, if this person like tries to make a repeat appearance, I first of all, I feel like you would say no immediately. So, okay, I think I'm going to leave it there, Libra. Wow. Okay, these are going to be a little intense, I can tell, which is good. I'm okay with that. Let's pick these up. And let's move into Scorpio. I was going to say Virgo, but that's moving backwards. Scorpio. Scorpio. I have a lot of Scorpio love in my life too. Then my daughter's a Scorpio. She has her own channel, Jenny Love Tarot. Please check her out. Help support a single mom. She reads so much like I do, but she's able to do it in a shorter amount of time. So I know some of you would appreciate that. All right, Scorpio. I'm using the light seers, by the way. Scorpio. Scorpio. There's a song. Spider-Man, Spider-Man. Knight of Swords. Look at that. He's in reverse. Sure, my deck's in the upright. Hmm. I think patience is probably something we have to learn because I'm being very patient, waiting for the cards to come out. We have the Nine of Cups, inner harmony. I like that for you. Seven of Pentacles. Nice. Six of Cups. Interesting, the Six of Cups is being mirrored by this Knight of Swords in reverse. I feel like, first of all, if this is about someone who, I wish would communicate with me, but they're not. Hmm. Um, let's see what comes underneath them. Four of Swords in reverse. Interesting. Healing, but in reverse. I feel like there's someone who has had you like um Four of Wands, beautiful. Next to, so we have 44 right here. One in the upright, one in reverse. Strength card, card of Leo. Under the Seven of Pentacles, Eight of Wands. Under the Six of Cups, beautiful. Knight of Pentacles. Listen, I feel like for some, this is saying that there may have been someone who, um, I just feel like could be someone who just cuts off communication. I feel like I do feel like there's someone who has a little bit of a hold over you. And it could be like, waiting for them to call or waiting for them to come in or waiting for communication from some way, somehow. Um, but it doesn't feel like they're doing it. And it does feel like it's affecting you. It's almost like I wish someone would make like I wish a particular person would make a commitment to me. But truth be told, I feel like this person that maybe I've, put a lot of value in, I feel like they're kind of, it's like holding your mind hostage. Now, with the Knight of Pentacles. So, the Knight of Pentacles, one of the most beautiful knights, I think, talks about, first of all, patience. Patience, my child. But also is about this night bringing in a pentacle, bringing it into your physical world. And it's meant to really expand your world. The Knight of Pentacles doesn't come in until the right time. And that's that. Like, there's no arguing it. It's just that is the way it is. Um, but when it does show, hmm, it really shows. I almost feel like I just got to realize that there's someone, again, like if someone ghosted me, or just like, communicates with me and then like 3 months they don't call me and is that what you want? You know what I mean? Because I feel like, again, like it's almost like they're holding your mind, your thoughts, your heart hostage. But you are allowing it. I feel like this is saying, there's someone else. Maybe someone you haven't even considered. And I feel like the Nine of Cups is very important here. First of all, that is your energy. But that is about you finding inner harmony. So let's just say that I am waiting for, like someone's been ghosting me or what have you, and it's been driving you freaking nuts. Well, then I feel like then you got to know that I can't take that anymore, right? Because it's ruining my life. And Nine of Cups is about regaining, joy within your life. And then I love that the Four of Wands is below that because, ultimately it does talk about a commitment. But I don't really feel it's from this person. And I feel like the Knight is saying, well, maybe we have a better person. Let's keep going. We have the Six of Cups. Could talk about someone of your past. But this would be someone that you have happy memories of. It's interesting because it has the Eight of Wands below it. So far, the Eight of Wands have been in both readings that we've done. Some of you, I feel like you've learned a lesson. And again, it feels like that energy of like being pulled to someone who just doesn't feel capable of giving you what you deserve, the type of love you deserve. You are a lover and you love with all your heart. But man, when things go wrong, that can be devastating or it can feel devastating. I do feel like certain people may have been called into your life for particular purposes to help you overcome things or what have you, or to have you really take a good hard look at yourself. And I don't mean that in a judgmental way. I mean that in a where there's tremendous growth from that. Okay, now we have the King of Pentacles in reverse. Different deck. By the way, Strength card's card of Leo. I don't know if I said that. Often feel that Leo is my daughter's guardian angel. With the Page of Pentacles. I want to see what's mirroring this night. Your cards are being very slow. And it makes sense with the Knight of Pentacles here because it is slow moving night. But it's slow moving because, oh, look at that. Look at this. Soulmates. Look at that. Mirroring the Knight of Pentacles. Almost feel like the heck with all that. This is a soulmate energy. I feel like if I'm waiting for someone to make a commitment to me, but yet they're not. And I feel like in a way they have like they've taken your thought system as hostage, your heart as hostage. I do feel like this may be something that why like why would I take that? Well, I have to be feeling a little low about myself. And I feel like that's where the 9 of cups comes in. I need to find that inner harmony again, right? I need to trust within myself above all. This king feels like he's being eclipsed out, so I can't help but bring him back to the knight and the 4 swords. It's like this knight is stopping you from healing. I'm sorry. Yeah. Well, the Knight of Swords in reverse and the 4 of Swords. It's like it's stopping you from healing. And then the Knight of Pentacles is like, but I can't come in until you understand that and see that and take the power away from this person. That's one of the things I feel like we do. We give our power away. Now, I get it, right? Especially Scorpio who and listen, I know everybody's had different experiences with Scorpio. I was married to a Scorpio who was really quite terrible to me. But then my daughter's a Scorpio who's just so loving. My brother's a Scorpio who is super loving. I mean, you know what I mean? So it's all in the person. But nonetheless, I feel like I feel like saying, how can real love find me if I'm so tied up into what I think that I want? What it's almost like I want something or someone, but they're not showing me what I deserve. Like, I don't feel like they're going to make a commitment. So, your guardian angel's down here. Like, okay, that's okay. Because there's a soulmate energy that they have on their mind. Just like your guardian angel's like, well, you're putting so much effort into this energy that's working against you. How about instead of that, you start thinking about all that you deserve? I do feel like with the strength card, it talks about our inner demons, right? And finding balance within that. Another way you can look at that is, if we remember that we are light and dark, masculine and feminine, good and bad, right? We've all got that within us, and we have to find that balance. Strength card can talk about, you know, dealing with what I need to deal with, dealing with those inner demons. I kind of love the Page of Pentacles down here because I feel like even though I know it's like a hard lesson to learn, I feel like this is something you're learning. And listen, learning and then maybe even using for your own benefit, if that makes sense. And I'm saying that because it's mirrored by the 7 of Pentacles. 7 of Pentacles is like your tree of life. This is on the bottom of the deck. 2 of Pentacles. What do I do? What do I do? 2 Pentacles is, they call it the Juggler's card. Um, I think it's more about using your logical mind. This King of Pentacles has to be attached to the 4 swords and the Knight of Swords. They're the only ones in reverse. And then the Knight of Pentacles mirroring the 2 of Swords. The 2 of Cups, the soulmate. This 2 of Cups is being mirrored by the 6 of Cups. So this is probably someone of your past. And I say that because and listen, it doesn't even have to be this lifetime because the 7 of Pentacles is next to that. But I do feel like this would talk about again someone that you would have happy memories about. Eight of Wands underneath that. Let's not forget what I think about, I bring about. But we need to be really real with ourselves at the same time. The Four Swords in reverse, I don't love that for you. Because it's almost like I'm not allowing myself to heal. Why? Just because one won't make a commitment doesn't mean that someone else won't. That's what your guardian angel is trying to tell you. Two eights, 88, 88, 44. Interesting. 44, 88. Three of Pentacles under the Two of Pentacles. Okay. In a way, I feel like what it's saying is you need to really trust within your unique self and understand that you deserve the best, right? Now, our vibration is a big determination of what's going to vibrate back to us. We have to learn that. Like if it's almost like if I keep waiting, I feel like I get stuck in that pattern. I don't allow myself to heal. So I feel like many of you are in that mode right now. What should I do? Do I just forget about it and move on? Well, I feel like if someone's holding back communication and it's breaking your heart, then the answer is yes. Because I feel like true love wouldn't do that. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't issues. Like Sam and I mean, we broke up a million times on the phone before I ever moved here, but then we always get right back together type of thing. And, I feel like we were dealing with our life issues. We were just doing it long distance. All right, let's use the Gilded Tarot and let's just go over this. Two of Swords, High Priestess. It's interesting because give ourselves some room. It's interesting because first of all, the Two Swords coming over this Knight of Swords in reverse. Knight of Swords normally means there's communication coming in, right? But the Two Swords over that, it's like don't wear any blindfolds. Don't try to fool yourself. If someone's gonna love you, they're gonna love you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, in the Two Swords, it's like something I just don't want to face. And it doesn't even mean that someone doesn't love me. It just means that someone is incapable of maybe giving you a type of commitment that your heart seeks. And I do feel like, like if you're going to commit to me, commit 100% or don't commit at all. But right now, it's like I want to move you out of that energy. I like the High Priestess being next because that is all about your intuition, and trusting your intuition. I feel like your intuition is already telling you, that someone may not be the greatest for you. And it doesn't necessarily mean they're a bad person. It just means that for whatever reason, they're leaving you in this state of confusion, let's just say. The High Priestess says, please trust me, right? I am your GPS. I am here to help you on this earthly plane. The first thing you feel, trust. Because what happens if we don't trust that is then we start to overthink. Don't blame yourself for another person's actions or lack of actions. Because I almost feel like this is something I can't take personally, even though it's happening to me. Reason being is I just feel like this person may be incapable. All right. Eight of Wands over the Seven of Pentacles. I like that. Eight again. 888. The Star. Your hopes, your dreams, your wishes. Card of Aquarius. Right over the Six of Cups. King of Cups. Much more your cup of tea. Ace of Swords. Right over the Four of Wands. Four of Wands is called the marriage card. Commitment. To me, it's the most beautiful love card in the deck. Chariot. Beautiful. Card of Cancer, by the way. We're in the year of the Chariot. Three of Swords. Okay. Interesting. Maybe this King of Cups over here is helping to heal what cannot be healed here. Because again, I feel like because of this lack of communication or the type of communication, whatever it is, whatever I'm like refusing to see, I need to rip that blindfold off and be completely honest with myself, right? You either love me or you don't love me. And it's that simple. Either love me or don't love me. Because I'm not looking for a part-time lover. Five of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles. There you are, Queen of Cups, with your counterpart, the King of Cups. And then, hello, Ten of Cups over the Two of Cups. Come on. Scorpio, come on. Look at that. Ten of Cups, right over the Two of Cups, right over a soulmate's energy. The Star, right over the Six of Cups. Six of Cups talks about, and again, I hate to always talk about people of the past. And again, this doesn't even have to be someone in this lifetime. It could be someone, especially with the Seven of Pentacles here. It could be two souls who, made an agreement at this period in their life. Let's come together. But I feel like nothing can happen in that department until I take off the blindfold and, those who are not treating me well, I need to eclipse them out of my life. I feel like that's what your guardian angel's waiting for. It's interesting because I feel like some type of communication, and it's interesting too because I feel like as there's one person who maybe can't give you what you want, but in the same breath, I feel like in a way you're being saved from a life of hell because I feel like that's eventually where it would go. Because if someone could do that now, well, of course they can do it later. And then I feel like the King of Cups is more like, it feels like more of your vibration. This is someone who easily, because he's in the upright, easily expresses his emotions, is loving and nurturing. Matches your energy. Is he the one that's like, is this Ace of Swords talking about communication? Potentially. Because it feels like here's this Ace of Swords, and then the Two of Pentacles below it. So it puts the question on you, like a yes or a no on you. You have it underneath too. I feel like, I want to say if you allow yourself, I feel like that you have such unlimited potential, but you have to believe that. I almost feel like it's been beaten out of you, and I don't mean like physically beaten out of you, but I feel like literally beaten out of you, and for some reason you now you've believed it. Some of you could certainly be Cancer, but don't even worry about that. All right, I want to come back and I just want to, there's it's just a few things I want to look at. I mean, it just seems very clear to me, like your guardian angels down here saying, I promise you, I'm going to bring in this pentacle, and this pentacle is going to change your life, but you have to be willing to accept it at the same time. I come in at the right time. When is the right time? I feel like when I'm no longer accepting, when I take the blindfold off and I'm looking at the truth, right? If there's someone is holding back from me, there's my answer, right? There's my answer because I feel like what is it being, again, we're doing love reading. So eh, we have the Two of Cups, the Queen and the King, that would make perfect sense. So, here I feel very limited, but in this energy, like there is no limit. Can I, after this, will someone maybe reach out and communicate? Maybe I reach out. I feel like, just like I felt in Libra's reading, again, there's a lot that you're learning, and you're able to then take what you're learning and use it in your favor. Okay, let's look at a couple things. Let's look at the King of Cups. Look at that, the Knight of Cups. Different deck. Unexpected couple fulfillment. I mean, there it is, just like the knight down here said, right? I come in at the right time. I can't come in before my time, and I am not going to come in after my time. What is the right time? I kind of feel like I already know. The blindfold is off. If someone can't love me the way that I expect to be loved, then there is my answer, right? My intuition is maybe trying to tell me that. And listen, sometimes we feel like, well, that's it then, that's it. But that's not it, right? It may be it for them, but here's this night. Again, unexpected couple fulfillment. Look at that, Five of Swords. I just wanted to go on the opposite end of that. Five of Swords over that Three of Swords. First of all, I don't know if I've ever said this, but I'm kind of glad the Three of Swords is in the upright because I do feel like you need to look at that. And then the Five of Swords above that, someone's toxic energy. And it is their toxic energy that keeps you in this energy of heartache. Let's take one more over that. The Fool. Well, there you go. Wow. I need to break free from that. And then the Knight of Cups. The Fool. I'm putting the past in the past. Even though we have the Six of Cups, it can still talk about someone from your past. But again, this would be someone you have happy memories of coming into your life, you into their life, so to speak. And again, this could be someone you completely unknown to you. I have a feeling that you may know them. How you know them, I'm not really sure. Eight of Cups. Just kind of want to take a few right down the middle. There's that Two of Cups again. And then Temperance. Wow. Divine timing. Much like the Knight of Pentacles, both are a lesson in patience. Eight of Cups tells me, I love seeing the Eight of Cups here for you because I feel like it's saying that you are going to clear that emotional house. You are going to try to look at those cups that have been knocked over and understand them for what they are. Some cups are just, stupid decisions. We were young, we were dumb, that kind of energy. Some cups were free will, some cups were karmic. It's like having as much clarity as I can. I don't want to get lost in that energy, right? The Eight of Cups talks about looking for that stored emotional energy and releasing it. And then once you release it, eight, allow yourself to have a new beginning. Well, what follows it? The Two of Cups again. And what follows that? Temperance, divine timing. Temperance is a beautiful energy of being able to relax with universal energy, divine energy. That's what temperance is about. I feel like I've said this many times where I feel like temperance's job, and I don't know if that's the right word, is making sure that these two cups are balanced. And that that's the right time. The Fool. I gotta take a leap of faith. First, I gotta clear the old and make room for the new. Again, I don't think you even need to think about it. Unexpected cup of fulfillment. Knight of Pentacles, I come in at the right time. Temperance, I am divine timing. And I am carrying your soulmate energy. Soulmate, moving right into the Ten of Cups. Your counterpart is the one who's offering in that cup. I don't know. I feel like there's nothing left to say. Just don't allow those who don't, if someone can't love you for who you are and love you fully, that is your answer. You know what I mean? That is your answer. Now, it doesn't mean like all things come together perfectly. No, but in your heart, like the high priestess, you need to trust your intuition above all. Above all. Again, because I feel like this person underneath all of this could also be alluring. But I have to be able to. So, it feels like great love, no? But listen, it doesn't mean there's not work to be done. I feel like there is work to be done. But I feel like, again, it's like when I have these realizations, when I take off these blindfolds, when I accept the truth for the truth, it is telling the universe, okay, I'm open now. I am ready. I am not wearing a blindfold. I am learning to trust my intuition. And I'm putting it to work. And Temperance is saying, let go of everything else. We have it. We have it, baby. We have you under control. And this love. I mean, clearly it's a soulmate. Hmm. And there are, like, we can have many different soulmates, and not all soulmates are meant to last a lifetime. But this does feel like it's going into the Ten of Pentacles. And I almost feel like, I'm not interested unless it has the potential of, going into a true commitment. Don't forget, we have the marriage card here, the true commitment. But everybody wants to be in that energy. There's no fighting or kicking or screaming. It's like I could imagine not being with you. First, there are issues that need to be dealt with. And I feel like when they're dealt with, then the rest will just take care of itself. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. King of Pentacles, by the way, that was in reverse, can be a a Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Doesn't have to be. All right, Sagittarius. We're going to use the Tarot of Dreams. You know, a lot of people watch a reading and be like, oh, please, they're just, you make it sound so easy. But I'm not making it sound easy. I'm pointing out what needs to be looked at. I'm pointing out the blindfolds, right? I'm pointing out the lessons. But you're the one who has to see that. You know, I feel like when you watch a tarot reading, allow your spiritual ears to really be your truth. Look at that judgment. Your spiritual team, first and foremost. So, what's judgment about? It's calling you to the present moment. It is your spiritual team calling you to the present moment. Why? Because some type of rebirth is available. So, present moment energy. Six of Wands. Victorious energy. Someone's claiming victory there. The Death card. Card of Scorpio. To talk about endings. But listen, it talks about one door closing, like closing the doors behind you. You know, it reminds me all of a sudden of like, you know, my dad when I was young, like turn the light off behind you. Well, it's the same here. I got to close the doors behind me. But there's a reason. It's because a new door wants to open. What judgment's the same thing, present moment energy, so that there can be a rebirth. In between the two is a victorious type energy. Look at this, Ten of Cups. And then, hello, Hangman in the awakened state. You know, I literally go through my decks and make sure everything's in the upright. And then if they come out in reverse, they come out in reverse. This came out in reverse face up. This is an awakening. How beautiful. The Ten of Cups is being mirrored by judgment, a rebirth. You're having some type of an awakening. And it's almost like your heart chakra is being activated. You know, probably after a period of time. The Hangman is seeking wisdom on this spiritual plane, on this earthly plane, from the spiritual plane. Well, this Hangman has received that information. We have the Three of Swords under the Six of Wands. And then we have the Emperor, card of Aries. Simply, I feel like this Three of Swords coming under the Six of Wands, this is you overcoming that energy. That means prior heartache. Because you're the one who's standing victorious here, and you're the one who's having an awakening. And then the Emperor next to that can certainly speak about an Aries. You know, but I feel like as it relates to the person, if it's a person, this is someone that I can look up to. This is someone, listen, this could be two people that have their own separate platforms, but they may do things similar. And I feel, again, I feel like this is guided. Like this is just feels like it's meant to be. Doesn't mean it has to be or it will be because ultimately you have free will. But I feel like, the emperor's the leader of the people and he leads through his experiences. We have the hermit. Wow. The hermit mirroring the hangman in the awakened state. That's kind of beautiful. It's beautiful, but I can see where I probably had to go through the dark night of the soul. I probably had to seek that awakening. I had to seek that awareness, but you found it. You definitely found it. And then we have the strength card. So I almost feel like as I was seeking this awareness, part of what I was receiving is the need to find balance within myself. The strength card tells you, yes, we carry, we do have inner demons and we just have to know that. But we have power over that. And it's when we figure that out, I feel like it's when we find real balance in our lives. It's the ability to overcome the things that maybe one time tempted us that maybe weren't for our good, and that's probably where the Three Swords is coming from. We have the Ten of Wands. We have the King of Swords. We have the Eight of Pentacles. And with that Eight of Pentacles comes the Ace of Swords. I would not be surprised if many of you are using your life experiences for, in some way, like I feel like on a platform. Now I'm saying like your platform. But I also feel like other people would be very interested in your platform. Like the Three of Swords going into the Ten of Wands. Well, the Ten of Wands, I feel like I secretly am wishing for a tower anyway, because the energy that I'm carrying here is backbreaking. Too much. Everything falls on my shoulders. It's not what I want. It's causing my heart to break. But can I overcome it? Well, you have two cards surrounding it. First of all, the Strength card, and then the Six of Wands. So the ability to overcome that. First, I do have to realize that. I feel like this is kind of beautiful that Judgment opens up the reading with the Death card. Because I feel like it's talking about putting the Ten of Wands behind you, like extracting the wisdom from it. For some of you, it's simply a message that in a relationship, there's got to be a fair give and take. Doesn't mean at all times, like when I give, I receive. It balances itself out. Um, but some of you have been learning that lesson, like, I deserve to receive, not just give. This is the energy of a lot of responsibility. This is the energy where it all seems to fall upon your shoulders. Then we have the ace. Remember, Judgment says there's going to be a rebirth if you allow yourself to come into the present moment. But with the Hangman in the awakened state, I 100% believe you are. And then Judgment is marrying the Ten of Cups. All right, let's see what's on the bottom. Well, look at that. Come on, guys. I'm using different decks. Two of Cups. The soulmate. With the Nine of Wands underneath that. You know, Nine of Wands to me is much like the Strength card. It's the reflecting upon, let's just say, at least the last chapter of my life and understanding my own responsibility in it and how I've grown from it, but also where I get stuck in it. You know, it's like learning oneself. And ultimately, that person who's willing to do that becomes what I consider a spirit warrior, much like in the Strength card, half human, half lion, right? I can tame the king of the jungle. Two of Cups. All right. Let's use the Cosmic Tarot. We have the Death card. Scorpio again. Hello, Ace of Pentacles. We'll take it. You know, Death card, same as Judgment. Closing of a door. Then a new door can open. Sometimes a new door cannot open until the old door is closed. Judgment, a rebirth. But first, I need you in the present moment. It means I feel like whatever doors need to be closed, and I feel like you would already know this because you're in the awakened state, close them. Because then this ace comes in. And y'all heard me say it. It's meant to really expand your world. It's something that's coming into your physical world. We have the Two of Swords over the Death card. And then we have the Prince of Swords over the Ten of Cups, with the Ace of Swords down here mirroring it. So, we have the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords. Justice. Card of Libra. There's that Nine of Wands made itself out. Three of Swords. I feel like you already have that. You have it right there. But, you know, the Hermit's reflecting upon that Three of Swords. The Hermit's reflecting upon that heartache. Reflecting upon how it even happened. And then the Hangman, again, it's giving you the awareness that you need. The Sun. Two Leo cards, back to back. This is Leo's ruler. But what I love when the Sun comes out, it means that everything's going to be illuminated to you. It means that because we have the Two of Cups here, again, a soulmate type of energy. And I am doing love readings. I want to keep reminding you, you know, yes, it's life. They are life readings, but mainly we're looking at love. And I want you to be very realistic with yourself, you know, just all, like everyone seems to be getting something, right? But everyone's also getting the lessons. Like again, Judgment, your spiritual team calling you to the present moment, saying that there is a door that needs to be closed. The Two of Swords coming over the Death card, like, but there's something that makes me a little leery of closing it. Well, sometimes just change. Sometimes change can be difficult, or we feel it's going to be difficult. But in the Two of Swords, there's that blindfold. So a lot of times it's just something I don't want to face. But I feel like once we face it, it just, again, it takes the power away from it. The Sun, whatever is done in the dark will come to the light, and that you can trust. The Sun makes you feel like a kid again. It's like a brand new day. Ten of Swords over that Ten of Wands. Wow. So if I'm cutting ties with someone who not only broke my heart, but dagger after dagger after dagger. I hate the image of this card. I don't even know why I'm showing you. I don't like it, but I feel like it's definitely speaking of the type of communication that probably I have dealt with. And not only that, but then everything ends up on your shoulders anyways. What's the fun in that? So justice does feel like, I'm going to balance my own scales here. The Five of Wands, mirroring by the Two of Swords, and then the Eight of Cups. It makes sense. This person looks a little down, right? Why didn't things go my way? But that's when we get lost in the energy of thinking only one person can be right for us, where we just don't know what's going to happen. We don't know who's going to come in our life. And again, I can use myself for example. I didn't know Sam 40 years later was going to pick up the phone, call me, and then we were going to start a life together. No clue. But it happened. So this person looks like, yeah, maybe it's not the easiest thing to do, but it's definitely going to help you. Let's not forget, again, you have the awakened state. You have the hangman in the awakened state. So there's no lying to oneself. I too feel like you were just dealing with someone who, I almost want to call him a piece of shit. Um, because I feel like they've been very, 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 very difficult. Very difficult. And I also feel like if I expected things to change, I don't feel like they would. If I expected someone to apologize, I don't think they will. What I've got to tell myself is they may not change, but I can change. Look at that. There's that Ten of Swords, Nine of Wands, reflecting upon those 10 swords, and then the soulmates. Do I think our spiritual team helps protect us? I do. They can't go beyond our free will, though. And sometimes our free will can make us make decisions that maybe just aren't the best. And that's not to judge you. Like, don't judge yourself. Don't look at your past mistakes as mistakes. Look at it as experiences that you've gained, right? Some of them are very difficult, but it's like, if I can get through that, I can get through anything. So I feel like this, again, feels like this may be, first of all, you have the Ace of Swords. So we could talk about, like, how does this come together? Could be through communication. But then you also have the Ace of Pentacles here. So it could be not just communication, but someone that's in your physical world. They may already be in your physical world. For some of you, it could be someone that you work with or, who does something very similar to you. Because you do have the Eight of Pentacles down here. And, if you're asking yourself, let's say the soulmate's already arrived and you're saying, can it work after I've been through this? Eight of Pentacles is all about where your focus is at. Like, if you're willing to focus on something, then you will have success. But it does need your focus. Love is like a seed. It needs to be nurtured. And if it's not nurtured, then it's going to dry up and die. All right, I'm going to go right across the middle. Five of Swords. So that is you realizing that this energy is toxic to you. I like that it's gone from the 10 down to the 5. Four of Swords, healing. And then the Nine of Pentacles. Independent energy. Again, I feel like justice is here somewhere. Pretty sure I saw justice right there. So, you know, I sound like a broken record because, again, cutting of the ties, a 5 and a 4 is a 9, and here's a 9. But cutting of the ties, again, what's been toxic to me, the ability to heal that. Your spiritual team is here to help you heal that. And then the Nine of Pentacles becoming very independent, carrying that independent nature. Also, this is a great energy of really creating, it's the meaning of the card is successful self-employment, but it doesn't have to be self-employment. Though for many now, I feel like many of us are moving into that arena. So it's interesting because I feel like this kept you off kilter, but this is now putting you back on a firm foundation. And isn't that the perfect time for a soulmate? All this heaviness that once was, or could still be, spiritual team is saying, we need you in a present moment. We need you to be willing to accept a rebirth. We need you to look at the things that maybe you're afraid to look at. Once you do take that blindfold off, I feel like you understand that monster is not nearly as big as you thought. And then you do need to close the door. To what? To all these difficult tens down here. I feel like you do, because I feel like from a 10 to the 5. And then what does it move into? The 10 of Cups. So your spiritual team is saying, can you have the 10 of Cups? Of course you can have the 10 of Cups. Why couldn't you? Like, why could I have the 10 of Cups, but you can't have the 10 of Cups? You know what I mean? And I've had difficult lessons. And I feel like that's the key. Like when we look at our lives as, okay, maybe I'm here to learn from this. If we remember we're spiritual beings having human experiences, it makes it easier to understand that there are going to be difficult people that come along our path. And some are going to pull us right in. And maybe what we are really here to figure out is we have the strength to overcome that. Not just to overcome that, but then to find the life that just feels like of true happiness. Now, when I say true happiness, it doesn't mean there won't be issues or challenges, but this is about people who take these challenges head on and they do it together. Your independence. And listen, and maybe that's what I need for a period of time. Because it's by the Four of Swords, and the Four of Swords, I need to take as much time as I need to take. However, I don't want to take too long. You know what I mean? Because again, your spiritual team's calling you to the present moment. So maybe some of you have already been in that healing energy. And who knows? Again, I feel the energy of like, all I have to do, it sounds easier said than done, but what I have to do is just look at the life that I've created, look at my experiences, understand why I gave power away, and understand how I can gain it back. When I do gain it back, I need to celebrate myself. It's like easily I can put myself down, but why don't I celebrate? I need to celebrate myself. The Hermit. I just wanted one more. The Hermit. Part of Virgo. And there's a Hermit right there also. Some of you may be connected to a Virgo. But it's interesting because this hermit has emerged from the cave. So I feel like the healing period, maybe it's over. You know what I mean? Or maybe you're healing as you're moving along. Because I do feel like this hermit now has emerged from the dark night of the soul and is carrying the beacon of light. This beacon of light is meant to help the hermit on his spiritual journey, right? It's light illuminates any snakes in the grass, but not just for you, really for everyone. I often feel the hermit is like an old soul, a master teacher. But it doesn't mean that's what I seek out to be. It's just who I am, right? And maybe that part of me didn't, wasn't able to come out, and now it is. Some of you spiritually owned businesses. I mean, especially with the emperor there, any type of self-employment, I feel like it looks very, very good. I don't want to make this a money reading, but I do have to say that I feel like it seems very, very good, or it has the potential of being very good. And again, what are some of the things that I'm using to help me along this path? How you have healed. So I do feel like God uses our experiences to help others. And that's kind of what it feels here. So again, this soulmate may be someone who has a very similar type life. Almost like I feel like they're a guru. Now, I'm not saying they are a guru. Okay, let's let that be. I don't know why these almost feel like personal readings to me today for some reason. And we are moving on to Capricorn. Capricorn, you've been in two people's readings so far, I believe. And I'm going to use the Psychic Tarot. Couple shufflings. Give him a cut. Seven of Swords. Deception, envy. It's like the thief in the night. I feel like the person in the Seven of Swords takes more than their fair share. But I feel ultimately it's because of the way that they grew up. Almost like maybe there wasn't enough to go around. Awareness. The Magician. The Chariot. Beautiful. Two sevens mirroring each other right now. One is deception and envy. The other is the Chariot. Here it's called triumph. We have movement, choices, and decisions. We have the Seven of Pentacles, patience, and planning. Another seven, three sevens in your reading. And then we have accelerated motion. Under awareness. She's looking right up at awareness, but she's really looking at a star. Like, a wish. When you wish upon a star. Makes no difference who you are. Wish I could sing better. Two cups. I swear to God. And here it's called spiritual union. I mean, how many times have we seen the two cups under the chariot? We're in the year of the chariot. I know I've already said that we're in a universal year 7. We're moving into a universal year 8. I feel like that's one of the reasons why I felt pulled to do this reading. I don't feel like this is all instantaneously. I feel like it's talking about like the rest of 2007 getting us ready for 2000. When I say 2007, 2023, getting us ready for 2024. So you have a soulmate, spiritual union, accelerated motion right next to that. When I think about, I bring about fast moving energy. Look at this. The Ace of Cups, love begins. It's interesting because you have movement, choices, and decisions mirrored by deception and envy. And then here we have love begins, which is the Ace of Cups mirrored by the Seven of Pentacles, patience and planning. And I find that interesting because don't take this the wrong way, but I feel like a few of you, the Seven of Swords may be you. Now, I'm not saying you're being deceptive, but what I'm saying is I feel like there may be a certain energy level that you're carrying that, you're figuring out it doesn't serve you to carry it. Sevens are a big number in your reading, and that's your spirituality. Spiritual completeness. That's what 7 is about. I feel like, I almost feel like maybe you weren't ready for something. Maybe you weren't ready to make changes. But I feel like, in a way, you are. All right, let's keep going. Whether it's you in the 7 of Swords or it's someone else, we have awareness right next to it, so we can't deny it. But it doesn't do us any good to deny it anyway. We have spiritual strength. And then we have the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands is a little, like it's not completely reversed. Like I want to bring these up a little. Two aces. Ace of Cups, Ace of Wands. Ace of Cups is being mirrored by the Magician with accelerated motion in between. I feel like whoever is in this 7 of Swords, I feel like your spiritual team is trying to help you overcome it. And if it's someone else, and, like, I want to move away from that energy, well, the 7 of Pentacles would say, make a plan, patience. Slow down, you move too fast. All right, let's keep going. rest and rejuvenation. Four of Swords, getting out into nature. Could be a great healer. And then conflict and defeat. Wow, that must be what you're healing over. I feel like in the this is the Five of Swords. I feel like what do I want to say? I feel like challenges have been thrown your way. It's almost like the universe has been testing you. And I feel like can you overcome these challenges? Well, what's mirroring it? Spiritual strength. So it's letting you know your spiritual team is not only not only involved in the beautiful things in your life, but also the difficult things in your life. So I do feel like there's some challenges that you needed to overcome. But I feel like as you overcome them, they become, it's like, a star in your forehead type of thing. So it's on the bottom of the deck. Partnerships and alliances. This is great energy for collaboration. It's funny, that's a symbol I have on my on the bottom of my video. Positive movement forward underneath that. So partnerships and alliances, this is about people who see you, who see your soul and you theirs. This is the energy of being your unique self and being appreciated because of that. It's like someone recognizes your soul. And that's kind of a beautiful thing. Did I look under it? Positive movement forward. Okay. I want to let's use the Gilded Tarot, but I want to shuffle it a few times first. Two of Wands just popped out. We're not ready to take it yet, but we do want to recognize it. So it could be a new path that you're starting down. We do have movement, choices, and decisions over here, which is a 2. All right, I feel like I want to shuffle for these. Whoa. Okay. We have the 6. Wasn't there something? I feel like there was something over. Okay, I don't know. Maybe I'm losing my mind. We have the 6 of Swords over the 7 of Swords. We have the Queen of Wands. We have the 10 of Swords. We have the 8 of Pentacles. And I'll go over all this. We have the Queen of Swords. We have Justice. Here's the Magician again. Right over Spiritual Union. Well, hello, world. Coming over Love Begins, the Ace of Cups. The next chapter. Are you ready for it? And then we have the Knight of Wands. Excuse me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. All right, so to make sure it's still recording. So anyways, where were we? So we have the world, the next chapter, right? The world, to me, is the most spiritual time within your life. Um, the Six of Swords over deception and envy, it just means that I've had a chance to really reflect upon that. What's toxic to me? How has the toxicity affected my life? It doesn't, it feels like, I'm not going to say in a horrible way, but the Ten of Swords is here. So it can talk about there's a repeat pattern also within your life. Um, and then we have the Knight of Wands here, which to me is a fast moving knight. It's a knight that's passionate. It's definitely a knight of action, coming over spiritual strength. So I feel like I can trust this energy. It's like a rush of energy. And I feel like I can trust it. And because, especially with passion ignited next to it, well, here's the knight that would bring in this ace. There you go. I feel like this is saying for you that you have love that will be available for 2024 for you. Now, I'm saying 2024 only because I'm reading the world as the next chapter. That next chapter can begin at any time. But I do have in mind, like, 2023 to 2024. So, anyways, let's keep going. It's interesting how much Libra has been coming up in the reading because again, it's like, is there something, and it's leaning right towards deception and envy. And then the Six of Swords, you moving away from that energy. Ten of Wands, interesting. Nine of Wands, the Hierophant, five, coming over five. Hierophant is carded Taurus, by the way. It's your belief system. I feel like there's been some challenges relating to your belief system. We have the King of Cups again, and then we have the Strength card. Interesting because the Nine of Wands is following this Ten of Wands. So I feel like, and then the Ten of Wands coming over the Ace of Wands almost doesn't make sense, right? But I feel like what it's saying is if I don't reflect upon what those 10 wands were, if I don't reflect upon those 10 swords, sometimes, again, it's a repeat pattern. It can be a repeat pattern with a person, a repeat pattern in my life. And I feel like that's what justice is representing, like, the understanding of it and then the cutting ties of it, whether it be a person, a substance, a situation, whatever it may be, you're the one who needs to really reflect upon it. And then I feel like, not just reflect upon it, but allow it to heal also. Because I feel like your belief system has really been in question lately. Um, but here is the opportunity to bring it back, to let it shine again. And again, I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about your spirituality. I'm talking about, knowing right from wrong, understanding energy, um, believing and knowing that I'm a spiritual being on this human plane, having human experiences, understanding all of that. It's almost like having the hangman in the awakened state. I feel like, I'm just going to throw this out there, but I feel like the Seven of Swords may be a little bit for some of you, and I hate to say this, but I get this feeling like, do I drink too much? Is there something that is causing, like, because I feel like there's something that I'm doing in my life that's causing these repeat patterns. Now, it doesn't mean to put the blame on you. It's just so that you can see it. And then, hello, spiritual union. Hello, ace begins or love begins. Hello, passion being ignited. The world done, next chapter. The Hierophant, a much higher vibration. And when we understand when our vibration is high, then that meets us is also high. If our vibration is low, well, then that's what's coming back to us. That is the law of attraction. It's the law of attraction. The strength card tells me that you do have the ability to overcome, again, whatever demons you feel you have within you. You can overcome them. You have to know that. And then you've got to put the work in, of course. But I feel like, again, the magician here, the manifester. But I want to manifest from the light. I don't want to manifest from the dark. And I get that feeling like I've been manifesting from the dark. And it feels tiring. It feels old. So now I want to manifest from the light. And lo and behold, then I feel like spiritual union and love begins. It says spiritual union. That is a soulmate. And I feel like you have this awareness. And I do feel like there were obstacles that were before it. But I do feel like part of those obstacles were you really finding you, like bringing your faith back to center. Two of Pentacles, just going down the middle. The Devil, there's your card. And then the Page of Cups. Two Pentacles means that you are in question mode. Can be the Juggler's card. I feel like it's more about using your logical mind. I feel like there's a part of you that has beat yourself up over previous choices, let's say. But I feel like you've been in a growing period. And I feel like, it's like once you know what you know, you can't unknow it. So if there's anything I need to know about myself, I want to know it, first of all. Because that's the only way real change can happen. Page of Pentacles or Page of Cups, inner child. I feel like we had inner child over here, but we don't. It can certainly talk about someone who makes you feel like a kid again. All this is coming over a soulmate energy. It's like I feel like this person makes you laugh. And I feel like this is definitely someone who sees you, sees your soul, and you see theirs, whether you acknowledge it or not, whether they acknowledge it or not. It's interesting how the Two of Cups came before the Ace of Cups. It's almost like I find the soulmate, and maybe I don't immediately fall in love, but then it happens. I feel like one of the things that maybe came between you and love are conflicts. I feel like some of these conflicts are from other people, but I also feel like we got to know ourselves too, because I feel like there's some things that you're overcoming And I feel like when you overcome them, or if you have overcome them, again, congratulate yourself. Passion rushes in. There's a saying that's in my head, but of course I can't figure it out right now. Were those feared, were those feared to go? Something. Anyway, spiritual union, love begins, Knight of Wands, accelerated motion, the world, the next chapter. Everyone's getting the Ten of Swords, it seems. So we have to know what that is, right, for each and every one of us. But it's coming over the Chariot. The Chariot wouldn't move if the Ten of Swords still exist. I would, think of the Chariot like your car. And here I am with all these swords in my back. I'm not going to be able to concentrate on driving. I'm going to wreck the car. So I got to know what those swords are before I drive my car again. Okay. I think I'm going to leave that there. I hope that made sense. That one seemed, well, didn't seem confusing to me, but I could see where sometimes I worry that you may be confused. And maybe you are confused. Sometimes you have to watch your reading more than once. Sometimes you have to put on your spiritual ears, you know, let your intuition listen and not your fear based mind. Not everybody's ready for love. But I feel like when love comes, love comes. Okay. Aquarius. All right, Aquarius. We're going to use the good tarot for you. Again, pre-shuffled. Let's begin. Somebody asked me, I'd love to comment if I was an Aquarius. And I'm not. I'm a Virgo sun, Gemini moon. I don't know my rising, because I don't know what time I was born. And I know a lot of people said you can get down your birth certificate, but for some reason my state doesn't seem to supply that. Look at that judgment. Same as Capricorn, different deck. In this deck it's called Call. Why? It's calling you again to the present moment. That's your spiritual team. That's your angels. That's your spirit guides. It's all those that were assigned to you before you were born into this world. Like they were pre-assigned. Some have crossed before you, and then they step forward as your guide. The moon, your neighbor, card of Pisces, ruler of Cancer. You can certainly talk about something that's happening around the moon. It's interesting because it's like a full moon, almost like a partial eclipse. We have the Two of Swords, though it did come in reverse, and I like it. I like it a lot. That means there are no blindfolds. That means that Doesn't mean I'm not fearful to face something, but I'm willing to face it. Ace of Cups. You know, I was going to say it's like my spiritual team knew that I was going to do love readings, but of course they knew I was going to do love readings. Page of Fire. Page of Wands. I feel like there's no doubt in your mind who it is that you love. Or let me put it a different way. I feel like you were bold enough to take off all blindfolds. And that could be one of the reasons why your spiritual team again is calling you to the present moment. It's like a reward. We have the Four of Swords, healing. Hello, Star. So you have no doubt what your hopes, your dreams, your wishes are about. We have the Messenger of Fire. Interesting with the Page, and now the Messenger, the Knight. Passion. And then we have the Hierophant. Again, card of Taurus, but it's also about your belief system. You know, it's a 5. It wants you to question it. Are you living your life? Or are you living that of another's? Do you still believe that your dreams can come true? I feel like you do. Six of Pentacles. And then the King of Pentacles can be a Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. But you know it doesn't have to be. Six of Pentacles is a very generous type energy. It's learning the fine art of give and take. You know, again, it's not always that when I give, I expect to receive. But if it's talking about relationships, then it should be fairly distributed, right? I called this the King of Pentacles. It's the King of Wands. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. He's wearing his heart. It's like someone who wears the heart on their sleeve. The Hangman. And then the Two of Wands. I hope you can see all this. Let me slide it over a little. Okay. Oh, let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. The Knight of Swords. With the Magician underneath it. Again, I want to remind you that we're doing love readings. So you have your spiritual team first and foremost. Very first card. Calling you to the present moment. It's being very clear why. It's being mirrored by the Ace of Cups. And I have to tell you, Aquarius, I feel like, boy, do you deserve it. Because I feel like with this Two of Swords in reverse, it's like you ripped off those blindfolds. And you're willing to face whatever it is you need to face. Like fear doesn't rule the day any longer. You have the Star card, which is your major arcana, so you're showing up in your own reading. I always love that. I don't know why, but I do. We have the King of Wands under the Star card. Doesn't have to be an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, but let me tell you a little bit about this king. So this is a king that is very action oriented. Think of Aries, the seed planter. I think of Leo, I think of someone who belongs up on the stage. It's where they feel comfortable. Doesn't always have to be a literal stage. I think of Sagittarius, the very, very close to your energy, where it's both freedom loving. I mean, I don't want people and love in my life. It just means I also enjoy my freedom. The Hierophant seems to be a little bit of a question to you. Like, do you believe? Do you believe in, what's the word? Like, do you believe in miracles? Because I feel like that's what it wants you to do. Believe in miracles. Believe. I mean, just look at, if we follow it down, the Ace of Cups, the Star, Six of Pentacles. The moon, which is right next to Judgment, again, can be Pisces. It's Pisces major arcana, but can also be it's Cancer's ruler. But the moon can be uncertainty. And I have a feeling you've been in that energy for a little bit because the Four of Swords is below it. And that can be a little bit of a timeout period. I don't feel we always have the luxury of like doing nothing while we're trying to heal those broken little pieces of ourselves. But then you went and ripped off that blindfold. So during that healing period, you saw truth for what truth is. And I feel like not just only that, but I feel like it's like your guides are like kind of showing you the way. Like, how can I make this dream come true? This Ace of Cups, I can't say it's automatically who you think it's going to be. All I know is it's unconditional love. So whoever it's with, it's unconditional love. And again, it feels like, how does it begin? It feels like through communication. The Magician, I already looked, and the Eight of Fire. Okay. Um, let's use. Oh, I'm going to bring in a new deck. And I apologize. I do not remember the name of this deck. But I do want to give it a couple shuffles. So you have the Hangman over here. And in the upright, it means that, it is a little bit of a time out period. But it's a time where you are really seeking information, you're seeking guidance, and it's being mirrored by your spiritual team. So you're receiving that guidance. Not only is it mirrored by your spiritual team, it's mirrored by the Hierophant, your belief system, but it's also mirrored by the Ace of Cups. Sometimes we want things before their time. And I feel like this now feels like the right time. Two of Wands here tells me that this is the beginning of the next journey. And I like that it's a Wands because it feels very passionate, especially being married by the Ace of Cups. All right, let's go over this. Whoa. Death card of Scorpio. It's funny because my daughter is a Scorpio, but she is an Aquarius moon. And I feel like our moon, like when you think about your moon, that's your inner self. Hello, Four of Wands, the marriage card, the Nine of Pentacles, Death card. Unless this is Scorpio for you, it is about the closing of a door. No other way around it. An analogy I like to use is if we think about our own closet. Like I'm looking at my closet right now, and if I think that if I hung on to everything that I had ever had, every little piece of clothing since I was a baby to my age now, and I tried to put it all in that closet, it just wouldn't happen, right? The closet wouldn't be able to hold all of it. And in a way, because I'm trying to stuff everything in there, it's like I'm telling the universe, I have plenty. You don't need to bring me anymore. But then when I clean that closet, right, and I only keep what I really truly need, I feel like then that's another message to the universe. Look at all the room I have in my closet. All right. Eight of Swords. Don't love that over the Ace of Cups, which is kind of interesting because you have the two swords in reverse, but then you have the Eight of Cups over the Ace of, I'm sorry, you have the Eight of Swords over the Ace of Cups. King of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, the Star. There's your card again. And it's coming right under the marriage card. I feel like what this is saying before we go any further, I feel like some of you really have set yourself free. And it doesn't necessarily have to mean from another person. It just means you needed to set your mind free. You needed to set your soul free. You needed to take on the energy of all that can be, no matter what was. This is about creating from this moment forward. The star card came out twice. And on both ends of it, it's connected to the Four of Swords, healing. So that tells you how important allowing yourself to heal the past pains are. And it doesn't mean I need to understand everything about it because some things you just will never understand, right? We can't predict another person's free will. We can't change their free will. And if we have to change their free will, do we want them anyway? I feel like for some of you, the Four of Swords is a little bit of a time out, but I feel like you did rip off the blindfold of the Two of Swords. And what it's done is it's left you in a much more grounded type of energy. I don't love that the Eight of Swords is over the Ace of Cups because the Eight of Swords is a self-created prison, but it's mirrored by the Death card. So to me, that's the door that needs to close. Eight of Swords just means that I'm not trusting my own energy as a measurement of what's good, what's not good, what's right, what's not so right. Like getting the Ace of Cups when I'm in the Eight of Swords can be very, very confusing. Doesn't necessarily stop it. It just means that what will I do with it? What will I do with it? Right? What will I do with it? Will I accept it or will I not? Five of Pentacles. Four of Cups. We'll come back to that. The Five of Pentacles to me means that there was some type of change in my life that maybe I didn't ask for, right? It's not really what I thought that I wanted. But I do feel like in the long run, it did serve you. Now, it doesn't feel good when I'm in it, but you do progress from it. The Six of Pentacles or the Five to the Six. And then we have the Two of Pentacles. All right, I want to stop for a second though, because I want you to look at the Four Cups. This is discontentment and boredom in one's own life. This is a message of using your spiritual discernment as it relates to what to do next. This person is being offered a cup, but they don't see it. Their head is down. They're looking at the ones that they've lost. How interesting that the Ace is right above it. Here's this cup. Well, here it is. Discontentment within my own life. But I feel like the Eight of Swords has a lot to do with that. So your spiritual team is a very specific message for you. Those self-created prisons, look at them. Bring down those walls. Trust in the unexpected. Be willing to take a step forward. What I think where we get scared is we feel like I'm going to waste my time with this person. Well, maybe you only waste a week with them. You know what I mean? Because I feel like when you allow yourself to feel energy, you don't need these self-created prisons, right? You don't need to protect yourself with walls. Your energy is your protection. Your spiritual team is your protection. Your spiritual discernment is your protection. The Chariot. Again, we're in the year of the Chariot. I know I keep saying that, but I feel like everyone, not everyone's going to watch every reading, so maybe it's good that I keep saying that. The Prince of Pentacles. Chariot. Unlimited potential. Coming over the Six of Pentacles. Again, the Six of Pentacles is where, I can look at my experiences, and the one thing I can say about them is it's made me much more empathetic, much more compassionate towards my fellow man, but also towards myself. It's made me realize that it's okay to expect to receive. And I should expect that. The Chariot's being mirrored by the Four of Wands, the marriage card, or the commitment card. Right with you underneath it, and the Chariot connected to you. And it's kind of interesting because the person in the Five of Pentacles, which I do feel is you, I do feel like it was a period of time where you felt thrown out into the cold. And it is an energy that you yourself needed to overcome, right? Like not get stuck in it, but grow from it. And because I often feel in the Five of Pentacles, as you're moving through that energy, the right people are put in place to help you. And this Prince of Pentacles seems like that because he's holding out his pentacle almost like to give to you. I mean, I think every reading had some form of love in it. So I want to thank my guides for that, first and foremost, and your guides. We have the Two of Wands. Interesting. Two of Wands, Two of Wands. Could talk about two people. Two people who are willing to take this trip together. All right, and let's see what else we have. Ten of Cups. I'm going to do it right down the middle. Seven of Cups. Ace of Cups. Hello. And then Nine of Wands. Ace of Cups right here. Right? The marriage card or the commitment card right there. And now we have the Ten of Cups. Which, by the way, it was an accident, but I just so happened to put it over your major arcana, the Star. Your hopes, your dreams, your wishes. But it's not just about, it's about manifesting them, bringing them into your life. Nine of Wands to me means that I did have to have a good hard look at myself, at at the chapters in my life, at my own responsibility. But I also got to recognize the things that I have overcome and give myself credit for that also. You know, I feel like you're looking at this ace like, am I ready? Am I ready? Ten of Cups tells me that you are. And again, doesn't have to mean that it has to go fast. Take it slow. You know, you can always start down one path and be like, wait a minute. I don't think this is the path I want to take. I'm gonna veer off to this path. There will always be other paths opening up for you. You know, it doesn't have to be one way or the other. But there's a lot of love within your spread. A lot of love. A lot of potential. And I love the work that you've done. I don't feel like your work is over because that Eight of Swords still exists. And it's around love. It makes sense. Love is scary. But I feel like this is about two people down here who are saying yes. Who are going to take a chance. It's funny, this person's looking right at the Ace of Cups. Like, yep, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Okay. Think I'm going to leave it there, Aquarius. Wow. By the way, I will connect. I know probably not everyone's going to hear me, but I'll connect Aries through Virgo to your reading at the bottom in the comment section, where I leave the timestamps, and vice versa. I'll leave this one under theirs. Okay, Pisces. Pisces. I think the only deck we haven't used is Lumer's Tarot. So let's go for it. Pisces. Love. For my beautiful Pisces. Well, hello. The Magician. Trying to glide through the screen. The Empress. Beautiful. I mean, if anybody can manifest the life of her dreams, it's the Empress. If anyone does not need the Eight of Swords, self-created prisons, it's the Empress. The Hermit. That explains it perfectly. By the way, it's card of Virgo. But the Hermit's beacon of light is illuminating the Empress. You know, I feel like the Empress is very important here because the Empress talks about love, right? This is someone who's remained loving and nurturing, even though she's been through it all. And the Empress, just like the Emperor, has been through it all. I feel like the Empress is someone who has walked the path of all the queens. So therefore, she has the wisdom of all the queens. This is someone who's very creative, um, is receiving epiphanies, ideas, signs all the time. And that may be why the Hermit is illuminating her. The mother figure. Three major arcanas, by the way. Just realized that. I don't know why, but I see you like sitting on, I don't know, like in your room, in a special room, and I feel like your voice, what you do to help others, I feel is very important. I feel like you're someone that others come to for advice. I know it has nothing to do with love, but I feel that within you. We have the Page of Swords, mirrored by a magician. Could certainly be some type of communication. You know, I feel like the Empress is the perfect energy to understand. Like a lot of times, I'm going to feel it before it actually happens. I may not know what. It's just, I feel something. Feel something coming my way. We have the Six of Swords under the Magician. We have the Seven of Wands under the Empress. Standing your ground. Six of Swords. We've had that, I feel like, in everyone's reading. So, and I feel like, that's life. Until we understand, like, the energies around us that are toxic to us. And it just means, like, it's stopping us from living the life that we could live. But I don't think the Empress is allowing that. The Empress is standing her ground. And good luck trying to, I feel like you can't pull the wool over the Empress's eyes. So don't even try. Six of Wands, victory, victorious. I could see a lot of you having your own platform and being very successful at it. That's probably why I was seeing this Empress. Like I feel like she's sitting in this like beautiful room, like on her special chair, and I feel like she's just talking. Now, is she talking for a living? Potentially. One of the things she may be talking about is her herself has gone through the dark night of the soul and how she has come out the other side and how much wiser she is because of it. King of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. This could be someone who's going to be communicating with you. Six of Pentacles under the Six of Swords. The Queen of Pentacles, interesting. The Five of Wands. I feel like this Empress, I almost feel like she's a counselor. Like she's helping people to overcome the things that, like two people come before me and they're like, all we do is fight. Like one of the things I would say to them is someone's got to learn like when to back down. When is it worth it? When is the fight worth it? And when is it just a stupid fight? So I have a feeling for some of you, it's like you may be in that line of work, and that can be in a million different ways. Again, I feel like there may be people that just come to you for your advice. The Sun, beautiful. Ruler of Leo. And then we have the High Priestess, your intuition. I love it over the Sun because everything is clear. This is where I trust my intuition above all. Like if somebody tells me, well, your intuition is wrong, I would say you don't know what you're talking about. The Sun is about the energy of a brand new day. It really is about inner child type energy. Being mirrored over here by the Page of Swords. It's on the bottom of the deck. The Star. Card of Aquarius. Three of Cups underneath that. Your hopes, your dreams, your wishes, and a reason to celebrate. All right, what do I want to use? Let's use the crystal vision, but let's go ahead and shuffle it. Some of you may be having communication coming in from this king. Again, it doesn't have to be an earth sign, but if anything, I feel like it would talk about, someone. Listen, I feel like if you're in the Empress's energy, if anybody comes towards you who is untrustworthy, you're just going to know that. Trust that part of you. I feel like your intuition is on fire. Believe it. Excuse me one second. Okay, sorry about that. Sam knocked on the door. Anyways, what were we doing? We were shuffling. Shuffling. Let's give him a cut. Page of Wands. Over the Magician. Hello, Will. Destiny. To me, it means the wheel's moving again. And I love that it's moving with you sitting as the Empress. Four of Cups coming over the Hermit. Well, I feel like that's what took you into the hermit mode, right? Discontentment, what was some part of your life, especially mirrored down here by the Five of Wands. Again, I feel like you've learned some great lessons, and it's showing us some of those lessons. The Five of Wands, again, is a lot of ego type energies battling. I'm expecting, someone to back down. Nobody backs down. I feel like Four Cups is saying that's the energy I've been in, but the Four of Cups is talking about, again, moving out of that energy. It's like you don't have to accept that. And I feel like going through the energy of the Hermit, again, can talk about like what feels like the dark night of the soul. But truly, what I'm seeking is wisdom, the light, right? All of that. I just want some help down here on this physical path. And I feel like it's being answered for you. Four of Cups once you use your spiritual discernment. I feel like I'm not even worried about that with you right now. Six of Pentacles again. Interesting. Six of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles. Hello, Ace of Cups. So here we go. Love. What did it say in the last reading? Love begins. I wouldn't be surprised again if there's two people who have similar type experiences. I kind of feel like this Queen and King are the two that are coming together. Even though they're a different sign than you, I don't want you to worry about that because I feel like what it's talking really about is the energy of these people, loyalty, stability, grounded, someone who does care about their finances. And I don't mean that in a way where, like, I'm being, like it's all about money. No, I don't mean that. I mean, they care about that their foundation is strong. I do feel like they care that, that they're able to help those that they love at the same time. So I do feel like this is you just a different side of yourself. Some of you may have Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn in your moon rising or, you know, one of your houses. But here we go. The Ace of Cups. What's it coming over? The Six of Swords. I mean, over and over again, it's like we're being shown how we can make our lives better. Let's just put it that way. Six of Swords. I know what's toxic to me. Like, I'm not going to deny it. I just know what's toxic to me. And this again is the moving away from it. It doesn't serve me to stay in it. So here you are in this boat heading through the choppy waters, the calmer waters. What awaits on this journey? The Ace of Cups. Is it with this king? I kind of felt like it was. Or queen. We have the Nine of Pentacles. And then, hello, Knight of Cups. Unexpected couple fulfillment. Over the Six of Wands. So let's take a second and look at this. Because I feel like as the Empress, maybe I have spent some time alone. Maybe I'm building up my own life, right? Nine of Pentacles, a sense of real independence. And again, it doesn't mean I don't want love in my life. It just means that I can take care of me. Well, that's exactly what the Empress would do, right? She would think about her own foundation, and she understands that if my foundation's not strong, how can how can I expect anything else in my life to be strong? Beautiful energy of successful self-employment again with the wheel, the Empress, and then now the Nine of Pentacles. I mean, hello. And by the way, the Queen of Pentacles down here, what's her specialty? She's able to read, she's able to catch those details that other people miss. So I am not surprised that some of you are in that type of business. But here comes love. Love is over here. And it's almost like when I'm in this boat, I don't even realize that this Ace of Cups is on my path. but it is. You know, what's above it? The Four of Cups. What's it ask you to do in that energy? Use your spiritual discernment. With the Empress's energy out here, I feel like you will have no doubt. Don't second guess. You know, you can always back out, but I feel like give something a try. Look at this, the world. So this person is not only asking you to be part of their life, but I feel like they're asking you to be part of their life from here on in, here on out. I don't know if I'm saying that backwards. From this day forward. I do feel like the world is the most spiritual time of your life, which would make sense with the wheel coming over the Empress. You know, what does that mean? It means that you're trusting within your own spirituality, and it does make your life easier. Wow. Four of Wands. I don't know. Pisces is like someone, let's just say eventually, I feel like is asking for your hand in marriage, or it's the other way around. Six of Swords. Again, I feel very similar type energies, like both. Listen, first of all, I feel like this is talking about someone who is free. Now, what I mean by that, it doesn't mean like, let's say they were married, but they're separated. Maybe they're not divorced yet, but they are living two separate lives. I don't feel like this person's connected to anyone. It's like, oh, and then you come in. No, it just all feels like it's meant to be. Now, I'm not going to tell you it has to be, but we have the Six of Swords twice right next to each other. We have the Six of Pentacles that are mirroring each other. Boy, do I feel like, again, the similarities. Look at that, the Hermit. All right, we're going to go ahead and take them. I didn't want to take them all, but let's take them. Ace of Wands. And so it begins. And so it begins. Listen, first of all, the High Priest is coming over the Sun. The Sun is saying, first of all, the Sun does talk about a brand new day, right? The Sun means that everything is out in the light. This is not about darkness. Darkness has already been had. This is about the light. Three of Cups, there's that celebration we saw under the star. Queen of Cups, or I'm sorry, the Queen of Pentacles again. Queen of Swords, interesting. And then the Devil, card of Capricorn. Some of you, I feel like this is for a Capricorn, just because we have so many Pentacles, but also Virgo. Like, I'm not going to leave anybody out, honestly. I feel like you'll know if you're in this reading. You know, when people say they're confused, I feel like either go back and watch it again, or maybe this reading just wasn't for you. Other than that, I feel like you should pretty easily be able to find your place within this reading. You know, if you haven't reached the status of the Empress yet, even though it's within you and you can reach it, then that's what you want to shoot for. You know, I feel like it's saying this is the energy you're meant to be in anyway. I feel like someone is coming in and I feel like you're falling in love. And then I feel like someone is asking for your hand in marriage, or it's the other way around. And I feel like the answer is going to be yes. I think the passion's going to be undeniable. But listen, I also feel a very grounded type energy here. I feel very compassionate type energy here. And I love that for you. I wouldn't be surprised if the two of you